Assalamu alaikum. The topic of today's class is principles and basic elements of interpersonal communication. So let's start with the first section of the class of the topic, that is principles of interpersonal communication. Actually, four principles of basic principles of interpersonal communication have been identified. First is interpersonal communication is inescapable. Then second is interpersonal communication is irreversible. Then third is interpersonal communication is complicated. And then the fourth is interpersonal communication is contextual. So let's define to the first principle, that is interpersonal communication is inescapable. It says that we can't remain without communicating, because it's nature of human being that they have to communicate with other people to establish a society or to survive in a society. Therefore, even if you remain silent, it doesn't mean that you are not communicating with other people. Even you are sleeping, when you are sleeping, it doesn't mean that you are not communicating with other people. Because we don't communicate by our uh, intentions, but we communicate by our behavior. So when you don't communicate, when you don't talk with other people, it's a sort of behavior which will be interpreted or which will be understood by other people that you are not in well terms with other people. So it itself, not to talk with other people itself is a sort of message that you are communicating through your behavior with people. So therefore, this is the first principle of interpersonal communication, that interpersonal communication is inescapable. No one can survive, no one can establish a society without interpersonally communicating with other people at home or in neighbor or in a society. Then come to the second principle of interpersonal communication, that is titled as interpersonal communication is irreversible. Mean what you once say, you cannot take back that word. Or simply you can say that whatever statement you have given or whatever sentence you have uttered from your mouth, if you say that you backtrack that statement, but then the impression, the impact of that sentence from which you want to backtrack cannot be removed. Therefore, interpersonal communication is irreversible. We can also understand the irreversibility of interpersonal communication by this Russian saying that a word once spoken cannot be swallowed again. So therefore, this is one of the basic principles, that interpersonal communication is irreversible. Therefore, while communicating interpersonally, one has to be very careful. Then the third principle of interpersonal communication is that it is said that interpersonal communication is complicated, but rather to say that all types of communication, doing all types of communication is complicated, specifically interpersonal communication. Because when we communicate with other people, we don't communicate our ideas, but to communicate our ideas, we take the help of words and symbols. Therefore, the words and symbols have can have different meanings for different people. The word you are using with a specific meaning may be taken by your receiver with a different meaning. Therefore, there is always possibility of a misunderstanding or a creation of a gap between people. Therefore, one has to be very particular, one has to be very careful while constructing the messages or while using the words to communicate interpersonally, because symbols can have a different meaning in different situations or for different people. Therefore, this is the third principle of interpersonal communication, that interpersonal communication is complicated, it's not so simple. Then the final principle of interpersonal communication is that interpersonal communication is contextual. We don't simply communicate, but the words we use, the symbols we use to share our ideas or thoughts have contextual meaning. And those contextual meanings have been further divided into four other uh, types. For example, first is psychological context. What you say, with what intention, with what desire, with what wish you say or you share your idea with other people may be called psychological context. In a similar mean the other context of communication is situational context. What you say, in what situation you say, may have a different meaning. For example, when we communicate interpersonally in a classroom, it has a different meaning, it has a different tone than when we communicate with persons in a street. So, communicating in a street is a different context, is different situation. When we communicate with the same person in a class, the situation is different. Therefore, in these two different situations, our manner of interpersonal communication surely will be different. If we will keep or maintain the same tone in different situations, so there is a possibility of misunderstanding. So it is a principle of interpersonal communication that we communicate situationally. In a situational context, we communicate. What we will be able to communicate in the mosque, in a holy place, we cannot communicate that being on roads. Or similarly, the third type of contextual the type of contextual is that relational context, that is called. For example, when you communicate with your receiver, what is your relationship with that? Either he is your student, or he is your family member, he is your relative, he is your friend. This matters. So, keeping into consideration the relationship with your receiver, you choose your tone, you choose your topic, you choose the type of words to communicate your idea or experience. So, therefore, this is called relational context. Then, the fourth context of communication is environmental. This indicates to the physical environment. For example, when you communicate, what type of furniture is available or what type of color is there in the room, what is the temperature at that time, that also has effect, that also uh, a complicated situation, that also uh, uh, forces you to choose a manner for interpersonal communication. And then the fifth context is cultural context. So, what symbol we mean in our culture, the same symbol may have a different meaning in a different culture. Therefore, we have to be very careful. So, these are the four context of communication: psychological context, situational context, relational context, and environmental context. These all work while we communicate interpersonally. Then now come to the second section of the topic, that is basic elements of interpersonal communication. In interpersonal communication, there are four basic elements. The first element is called sender. Sender means a person who initiates communication, who has intention, or who develops idea in his mind and wants to share that idea with other person. So that initiator of communication is called sender. Then the second element, basic element of interpersonal communication is receiver, someone who listens to you, someone who is interested for your intended ideas. Then the third basic element of interpersonal communication is message, means the content, the sentences you have spoken or you want spoken, either in a written form or in a non-verbal or in a spoken form. Then the fourth element, basic element of interpersonal communication is feedback, means the response you receive from your receiver who has listened to your message. So in this way, today we are going to finish our lecture about the principles and basic elements of interpersonal communication. Thank you.